At linebacker, number 54, Sander Frogner. At defensive tackle, number 71, Moritz Schwarzenzer. And at quarterback, number 87, Josiah Hines. The Raiders are coached by Shannon Taylor. And now the starting offense for your Atlantic Shore Seahawks. At wide receiver, a junior, number 1, Chris Higgins. At receiver, a junior, number 2, Corey Williams. At running back, a junior, number 3, Jack Weaver. At quarterback, a sophomore, number 5, Micah Lance. At receiver, a sophomore, number 6, Josh Sibley. At receiver, a senior, number 7, Blaine Foley. At receiver, a junior, number 8, Malcolm Forbes. At tackle, a sophomore, number 51, Barrett Hester. At the other tackle, a senior, number 55, Nathaniel McDonald. At guard, a junior, number 58, Zeke Ikong. At guard, a senior, number 64, Isaac Cohen. And at center, a senior, number 72, Patrick Linton. The Seahawks are coached by Wayne Lance.
I am Matt Hatfield, joined by Jack Lowe, our producer tonight. Also Marissa on camera for us. I want to thank Nick, Chuck, and the entire team from Hometown Sports Productions. As I see the great things you're doing out on the field, taking photos tonight. And we're going to bring this action here live on our Junior Sports Bucks YouTube channel and sportsbucks.com. As the captains are preparing to lead at midfield for the Seahawks Atlantic Shores. That includes Chris Higgins, number 1, junior wide receiver, number 5, sophomore quarterback Micah Lance, the son of Coach Wayne Lance, number 55 for the Seahawks, Nathaniel McDonald.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that everyone please stand. Gentlemen, remove your hats as we begin tonight's game with the word of prayer, followed by the playing of our national anthem. Let's pray. Father, we thank you so much for your love and grace, for this beautiful weather you blessed us with tonight.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels.
I used to go missing all the time. I let everyone down. I even let Shannon Sharp down.
Yeah, you let me down.
They've been told how you feel yourself doesn't matter. That electrolytes are all the same.
And just like that, they're gone. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade. Could be the difference between dominating and disappearing.
Gatorade, rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
After more than 50 years of innovation, AstroTurf still leads the way. The inventor of artificial turf does it all. right here in the USA. We engineer, test, manufacture, and install the world's most innovative fibers and turf technologies with over 30,000 tracks and fields worldwide. AstroTurf, powered by Sport Group.
And we welcome you tonight to the Virginia Beach Sportsplex as we're about set for our matchup between the Atlantic Shores Seahawks with a record of 3-0 overall, taking on the North Cross Raiders, who check in at 2-1 overall. It's a rematch of the last two VISAA Division II state championship games. The Seahawks of Atlantic Shores won it by a count of 36-26 2 seasons ago, whereas the Raiders prevailed in Roanoke last year behind Ian Can 13-0. We are glad you are tuned in, and our broadcast tonight presented by Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steakburgers. Experience delicious cooked-to-order food and rich and creamy frozen custard churned throughout the day when you stop in at Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steakburgers. It's located in Virginia Beach, Hampton, Chesapeake, and Williamsburg. Freddy's, the taste that brings you back. I am Matthew Haft. I want to thank our entire team from Chuck Thornton and Nick Senti, as well as Jack Lowe, our producer, engineer extraordinaire tonight. Marissa's on camera. We've got James Timmons in the house. We've got Dan Chavino on the field taking photos, getting us great images of this action tonight. And North Cross, the visiting team from Roanoke in the white uniforms with the red numerals, the Seahawks of Atlantic Shores tonight, and the black jerseys with the white numerals, as we're just about ready for kickoff, as it'll be North Cross kicking it off to Atlantic Shores to get things underway first here. And the kick is received at the 5-yard line by the Seahawks. Going to be hauled in by number 8, who makes a move before he is eventually brought down by two players wearing 2 and 13. So on that return, it was Malcolm Forbes stopped by Jarrell Rhodes and Jace Rhodes, as the Rhodes brothers, Jarrell a senior, Jace a sophomore, make the stop, limiting the Seahawks to a return of about 12 yards on that play, as it'll be Atlantic Shores with the football to start here. An offense that has put up 150 points in 3 games, outscoring its opponents 150-25 on the season. As we've got ourselves a good one for you tonight from the Plex. Handoff. It's going to be for a minimal gain here as a bunch of Raiders make the stuff. Looks like in on there initially was number 71, Moritz Schmoranzer, otherwise known as Schmo, the Pittsburgh commit, who is 6'4", 270 pounds. He is a load in the trenches, committed to Pitt. And that run for Weaver is going to pick up about 2 to make it 2nd and 8 from about the 19-yard line. So Jack Weaver gets the handoff first for Atlantic Shores. Coming in with 234 yards rushing and a touchdown on 44 attempts. And that time up the middle, nowhere to go as the North Cross defense stiffens once again. They say they ripped it out. Does number 7, who's got the football at the moment, but I think it's going to say forward progress was stopped with Nate Bonds there, along with a number 57 for the Raiders of North Cross, which we don't have on our roster, ladies and gentlemen. We apologize for that. And head coach Shannon Taylor taking over for Stephen Alexander, who led them to the championship a season ago. Weaver's going to get it again, and after a pickup of about 7, this time stood up by the defensive front featuring Sander Frogner, number 54, the junior middle linebacker, but it's not before he gets the chains moving. It's a first down for the Seahawks, as it's going to be up to about the 27-yard line. So it'll be just enough for that first down. Now with the multiple receivers on both sides, it's going to be incomplete, intended for his target, Corey Williams, number 2, the 6'1", 170-pound junior wideout, who coming into this one is among the area leaders in receiving, 15 grabs for 275 yards and 3 touchdowns. Opposite him, you have Chris Higgins, one of the captains that went out at midfield for the coin toss. Higgins, 17 receptions for 214 yards and 7 TDs coming in. This now the 5th play of the opening drive for Atlantic Shores, and they try to knife it up the middle, but the North Cross defense is ready for it as Weaver is stuffed once again by number 7, Nate Bonds, the free safety, flying up and holding him to just a pickup of 2. So this is a key 3rd and 8, trying to make it a second straight third down conversion are the Seahawks here from about the 30-yard line, needing to get to the 38. 2 receivers on each side. Lance will pump to the right. Now going down the field. He's got a man open on the deep post, and he's going to go to the house. A house call for the Seahawks here as they will take it 70 yards. The distance, Chris Higgins, the 6'4 junior wideout, hauling it in from Lance, and that's how Atlantic Shores strikes first as Higgins gets it to pay off. They took that vertical shot on 3rd down, and for Micah Lance, the sophomore triggerman, it's his 17th touchdown pass of the season, putting him over 800 yards passing on the campaign. And Atlantic Shores, just what the doctor ordered for Coach Wayne Lance, the 70-yard bomb to Higgins, and here they are for the 2-point opportunity. It looks like, although they will quickly clap the hands on audible into an extra point try. Lance will be the holder for this kick. And it's going to be booted through by number 12, Griffin Weaver, the sophomore. So just like that, Atlantic Shores, it's a quick 83-yard drive, 7-0 on top of North Cross, ending with Lance to Higgins. We'll take a quick timeout and hear from One Life Fitness and come back with more. And we're back here ready for Griffin Williams to kick it off to Griffin Weaver, to kick it off here for the Seahawks. The Raiders have Jarrell Rhodes, number 2, back for this. And it's going to take a hop. He's going to field it at the 5-yard line. A little shake and bake move, but he's going to eventually get wrapped up by a couple of Seahawks wearing 11 and 27. That is Cameron Kent and Levi Belford, respectively. Belford, a freshman, 6'3", 175 pounds, and Kent, a 5'8", 160-pound junior.
After the Rhodes return, the Raiders start this drive with the ball sliding around their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
So 1st and 10 from the 20 for the Raiders here as they will look to answer back. 2 receivers to the right. High snap, the handoff, and nowhere to go as 4 wraps up 4. That's going to be Cam Johnson quickly being brought down by Cody Batts, the senior middle linebacker for the Seahawks, who coming into this one has been a tackling machine.
Cam Johnson on the carry. Stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
He'll probably get about 1 yard. Actually, he's going to lose a yard, so it's going to be 2nd and 11. From the 19. Ready for the snap is junior quarterback Brock Miles, 6 foot tall, 190-pound junior with 3 receivers to his left. He looks left. He's going to go over the middle and finds on the slant a nice completion. It's going to be enough for the 1st down. As Schmoranzer helps bring up the one that caught that, Jace Rhodes, number 13. 16 yards to the 35. So the first pass is a good one there for Brock Miles, the trigger man for the Raiders of North Cross. Coming in, Brock Miles, 21 of 30 for 253 yards, 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Handoff, almost a draw, but the Atlantic Shores defense able to buckle down on Johnson. And on that stop, it looked like first hit was by number 64, Isaac Cohen, the 6'2", 250-pound defensive end. Nathaniel McDonald also in the mix as well, the William & Mary commit, who was a sack master a year ago, 6'4", 230 pounds. McDonald wearing 55 at defensive end on your screen. So it's going to be 2nd and 8 from the 37 after Johnson's gain of 2. And there's some movement. Looks like someone got in the neutral zone, so this is going to move it up 5 yards for Northcross. Up to their own 42. So Miles waits for the snap from his center. There's 2 number 62s, but we'll tell you which one we think it is in a second. Nice pass deflection, but there is a flag as it's going to be pass interference, we do believe. As making a good breakup, Joshua Sibley, 5'9" sophomore, defending against Tristan Lang, the 6'3" sophomore. So a big height differential there, about 6 inches given up. And Lang, one of 9 different players to have caught a pass this year for Northcross, with the leading receiver coming in as his sophomore by the name of Jaziel Hart, wearing 23 with 6 grabs for 87 yards and 2 touchdowns. But second flag of the night is a 15-yarder, putting Northcross into Atlantic Shores territory at about the 43-yard line. And there's movement this time. Northcross jumped. It looked like that was number 5, the senior wide receiver on the slot, Moritz Mittendorfer, getting a quick jump. Antsy to get out there and try to run a good route and make a reception. So there's the first penalty on Northcross. So it's 1st and 15 from the 48 of Atlantic Shores. We'll pass along some scores going on around the area as we move along here tonight. And look at Nathaniel McDonald making the sack. Number 55 coming free to bring down Northcross quarterback Brock Miles. And that's going to be a loss of about 7 to make it 2nd and 22. So McDonald with the sack. Out pattern incomplete, as it was Miles trying to get it to, I believe, number 9 ran that route, and we don't have a number 9 on our roster sheet either. So apologies there. Could be another switch to the roster that was supplied to us and also is online according to Northcross's Max Preps page, which is identical to the one I think that was printed out and supplied to us. So if you're watching on our YouTube channel and you know who number 9 is, tag me in a comment. Let me know if you know who that is for sure. Maybe a relative out there, someone knows for sure. I want to get that young man a shout out if he makes a play tonight. Up ahead, the pocket breaks down, and it's going to be a couple of Seahawks defenders dragging down the quarterback, Miles. Give a half a sack each to Ezekiel Okong, number 58, and number 64, Isaac Cohen, as they team for the sack, dropping them a yard. So second sack of the night's going to bring up 4th and 23 and punting time for the Raiders. Barely able to get that one off as Miles as it hit the turf. Now it's going to take a hop, a favorable one for Atlantic Shores, and not much of a net on that punt. In fact, it's going to end up being a net of all of, we'll say, 19 yards. So Atlantic Shores will start its next series at their own 37. We'll keep it right here with 5:42 to go in this first period. Glad you are with us watching on our Virginia Beach Sportsplex YouTube channel. Tell everyone to search at Virginia Beach Sportsplex, beachsportsplex.com. With your friends from Hometown Sports Productions. Matt Hatfield here with you on the call tonight. Two receivers to the left for quarterback Micah Lance, who moments ago connected with one of his favorite targets, Chris Higgins. Higgins' 8th touchdown catch of the year and Lance's 17th TD pass of the campaign. But this time it's going to be a run play and a couple of Raiders there to stop Jack Weaver. Moritz Schmoranzer in on that stop. So Weaver gets all of maybe 3. 5 carries for 15 yards tonight. 2nd and 7 from the 40-yard line now. As Lance hands it back off to Weaver, who runs left. And it looks like a couple of Raiders are going to bring him down for a minimal game. Sander Frogner, along with Jace Rhodes. Actually, get a little more than that as he got good forward progress up to the 45. That's a nice pickup of about 5 for Weaver. 3rd and 5 coming, check that, 3rd and 2 from the 45 now for Jack Weaver. And this is a good spot if you want to be in for Wayne Lance to maybe take a shot down the field here. It opens up the pass if you want, assuming it is possibly 2-down territory. Instead, they'll hand it off up the middle, and Weaver will move the sticks into North Cross territory before he is stopped at about the 47 of the Raiders. So that's his longest run from scrimmage tonight. 8 yards, giving him 7 attempts for 28 yards, and Jack Weaver putting them at the 47. That offensive line doing a good job. Xavier Mitchell with the stop there for North Cross. 1st and 10 again, another handoff to Weaver. Stick with what's working. Goes to the left side, and he'll be dragged down by big 71, the Schmo, Moritz Schmoranzer. Just 1 yard on that run. Actually, he'll get more than a yard. He'll get 3. So 2nd and 7 at about the 44. Another handoff. And that defensive front getting multiple bodies flow into the football with Nate Bonds, number 12, who we don't have a name for, and Sander Frogner, who's been referenced already a couple of times tonight. So Weaver here held to maybe a gain of 2 on that. 3rd and 5 now. We're looking at about the 42-yard line. Two receivers to the left. He's looking left, and Lance will get it off right there near the marker. Diving for the catch. Atlantic Shores makes it with Joshua Sibley. And that is enough to move the sticks. 1st down, Seahawks. He gets exactly 5. So Joshua Sibley making that grab. Good drive working here for Atlantic Shores. It started at the 5:42 mark at their own 37. Another handoff, this time to the left side. And Weaver getting some good movement up to the 31. Picking up 6. So Weaver already up to 39 yards rushing on 10 carries. Nathaniel McDonald at left tackle. Ezekiel Ekong at left guard. The snap to Lance. Pressure coming from that left side, and he gets it off to avoid the sack. Incomplete. Almost picking it off there was Nate Bonds diving to the turf. So this will be a 3rd and about 4 for the Seahawks. Looks like they did move it up to about the 31, so we'll give Weaver, he did get 6 on that last carry he had. Three receiver, one back here. Fake the handoff, rolling right. Completes the pass. As it's hauled in again by Joshua Sibley. Nate Bonds makes the tackle, but it's not before another first down. As Sibley got it to the 23 for a pickup of 8. Sibley making some key catches tonight. Weaver is stopped immediately by Moritz Schmerenzer. No gain, almost lost a yard.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
Really, that's one of the first times this offensive line got blown off the ball, as from left to right. Doing a really nice job with McDonald, Ikong, your center, and Patrick Linton, your right guard, and Isaac Cohen, and your right tackle, and Barrett Hester. I believe that's 3 seniors to go with Hester, a sophomore, and Ikong, a junior. 2nd and 10 now. Lance dropping back. Finds Sibley, who's going to get him in the red zone before he is tackled over the middle by Xavier Mitchell. 4th completion of the night for Micah Lance, and we have a timeout on the field. Actually, it's the end of the first quarter. No timeout on the field, so we'll step aside before a key 3rd and about 5 for the Seahawks, leading the Raiders of North Cross 7-0 in this rematch of the last 2 VISAA Division II state championships from the Sportsplex in Virginia Beach. Now hear from some more of our sponsors.
At CHKD, sports medicine is more than just treating injuries. It's a whole team approach to caring for young athletes. With experienced physicians, surgeons, trainers, and rehab specialists here when kids and teens need them most. Our experts help young athletes prevent injuries too, with advanced training and conditioning programs that keep them in the game safely. CHKD Sports Medicine, where kids are more than patients and we're more than a hospital.
There you heard it from Freddy's, our title sponsor for tonight's VISAA football matchup from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex, where Atlantic Shores leads North Cross 7-0. A big 3rd and 4 from about the 17-yard line as we begin the second quarter, as the Seahawks have gotten a couple of 3rd down conversions tonight, including one that came on a touchdown, a 70-yard strike from Micah Lance to Chris Higgins, looking for another big play with 3 receivers to the right. Lance will wait for a signal from the sideline. And we've got a whistle. And it's going to be on Atlantic Shores, backing them up 5 yards. Delay a game. So at about 3rd and 9 here from the North Cross 22, this will make things a little more interesting for them. Lance Throwing it up, and it's going to be deflected as Northcross's number 12, that man we don't have a name for, was almost like the receiver. Chris Higgins had to play defensive back, as that one was probably not thrown to Coach Wayne Lance's liking there, but Mike has been pretty, I'd say, spotless until that throw, which was nearly a turnover. 4th and 8. They dodge a bullet, nearly an interception on that play. So actually 4th and 9 from the 21. This could be another shot towards the end zone, although they don't need a touchdown. Just get it to about the 10-yard line, and it's going to be a first down. He throws it towards the end zone again, and it's going to be out of bounds, intended for Higgins. So a turnover on downs, 2 incomplete passes after the Seahawks got it in the red zone, had it 3rd and 4. They get the delay of game penalty, and now Northcross getting a much-needed stop here.
Pass ball's incomplete, and with that, the Raiders will take over on downs. They'll begin the drive 1st and 10 on their own 22.
So some scores to pass along as Northcross will be taken over here from their own 22. Check that. Yeah, their own 22 is where it will be. With 11:47 to go in the second quarter. Miles throws it down the field. He's got an open man. Can he make the catch? Oh, trying to make a one-handed diving effort for the Raiders. Excellent job by Moritz Mittendorfer, but it was just overthrown by a hair by Brock Miles, as he had the defense beat. 2nd and 10 coming up. End of the first quarter, Deep Creek leads Grassfield 7-0. Dinwiddie on top of Maury 14-12 with under 3 minutes to go in the first period. In the Bay Rivers District, Tab leading York 7-0. Al Kendrick Overton, the reigning Chicho's Pizza 757 Football Player of the Week, as we announced on our On the Hash with Hatfield podcast this past Thursday with the touchdown pass. And Nansemond River leading Oscar Smith 14-0 late in the first quarter. Some more scores will pass along in just a bit as it's a run play now for Northcross. Going to the right, now switching back left as he changes field and turns a negative into a positive. Good run there for number 1, who we don't have a name for either on our program right now. All kinds of new names for Northcross, and we've got an injury on the field. Let's hope that young man in the black jersey with the blue helmet for the Seahawks is all right. Try to figure out who number 1 is for Northcross in just a little bit as they got up to about the 26-yard line. We'll call it a pickup of 4, so 3rd and 6 coming up. And you're welcome to comment to us on our live chat on our YouTube page. Tag me if you know who number 1 is for Northcross. I was looking for who number 12 is because the rosters we have do not match as far as names with those numbers. Could be players that perhaps were added in the last little bit or moved up from junior varsity. Not quite sure. Keep an eye on big number 71, Moritz Moranzer, playing right tackle. He's not blocking McDonald right now, but want to see that matchup as we move along. Pass on 3rd down is going to be completed for a first down as it is hauled in by another name we don't have on our roster sheet, number 9. Was tackled by the Seahawks' number 2, Corey Williams.
First down, Raiders.
So 9 will pick up 11 yards. .27 yards passing on 2 completions tonight for Brock Miles. Man in motion. That's Moritz Mittendorfer. And now a nifty run up the middle for the Raiders as that was Cam Johnson getting to the 45-yard line.
Tackle made by Josh Sibley.
Sibley with the stop. 8 yards for Johnson. And what a momentum shift that was for Atlantic Shores getting stopped here. And now Northcross on the move with this drive that started at their own 22, looking for a game-tying touchdown here early in the second quarter. Seahawks hoping to get a takeaway or big sack play to spark them here as the pass to the intended slot target, Jace Rhodes, was incomplete, diving for that. So
Brock Miles pass intended for Jace Rhodes.
3rd and short coming up for the Raiders from their own 45. Big thanks to CHKD Sports Medicine, one of our sponsors. Whether your child is competing as part of a football team, soccer squad, or likes to ride a bike, the multidisciplinary team at the CHKD Sports Medicine program is dedicated to the comprehensive treatment of illness and injury in pediatric and college athletes. Many thanks to CHKD Sports Medicine. Two receivers to the right. They'll hand it off, though. And, oh, what a stuff there as you heard the hit. The contact. Jarrell Rhodes got the carry, but the big hit delivered by Patrick Linton. And Jarrell Rhodes at the most got a yard. I think they'll give him a yard. Being generous. And after that, do you go for it here? I think they're going to. There is a punt returner back. You hear some hollers of, hey, they're running the ball, and I think Atlantic Shores will call a timeout. So I think they got energized by that stuff, but North Cross is saying, wait a minute, it's 4th and 1 here. We're around midfield. We can pick up a yard. Our offense is good enough to do so. And a timeout is called by the Raiders of North Cross. We'll quickly take one as well and hear from Chicho's Pizza and come right back with this big 4th down play coming up here. And we're back here. 4th and 1. North Cross offense on the field. They're trying to draw them off sides. They might have to be careful unless they get a delay of game here. And they'll punt it away, which could be part of the strategy too for Coach Taylor. They will get it. Hand it off. And the Atlantic Shores defense is not having it as that tackle for loss on Jarrell Rhodes is delivered by big number 64, Isaac Cohen.
Big defensive play from the Seahawks.
Loss of 2 means the Seahawks have the football with 9:05 until intermission, and they're at the 44-yard line. So that gets it right back for Atlantic Shores. After being halted in the red zone on 4th down, a chance to add to the 7-0 lead. The Seahawks will keep it on the ground, and they're going to try to push them forward behind some linemen. And, we see a player go down. Sander Frogner stopping Jack Weaver. Weaver got a good 7 on that run to bring up 2nd and 3. You have to like how they're establishing the line of scrimmage even against Big Schmo for North Cross. There's going to be a flag on this play as it was movement. I think they're counting the number of men. It might be 12 in the huddle. They were actually going to wave it off. I think they thought there was 12 as the one referee looked like he was counting. The one here around midfield. I think he waved it off thinking there was 12 men. There's 2 ways to look at that. One, if you're Atlantic Shores saying that stops our momentum, and North Cross saying, hey, we had him. We were going to bring up 3rd down here. So 2nd and 3 from the 37 of North Cross for the Seahawks as Lance waits for the snap in shotgun. Hands it off to Weaver. He tries to dart left, but he's got nowhere to go because coming free without being blocked was the junior middle linebacker, Sander Frogner, once again. He's making a name for himself tonight, the junior at 6'1", 200 pounds.
Loss of 1 on the play. 3rd and 3.
And Weaver actually lost a yard, so 3rd and 4 from the 38. 45 yards on the ground on 13 attempts for Jack Weaver this evening. Seahawks keeping everybody bunched in here. That includes those receiving targets. See Sibley looking back to the sideline, wanting to get the instruction, the call here. Lance gets the snap over the middle. He's got an open receiver because a defender fell down, and making the catch for Atlantic Shores was Malcolm Forbes, as the junior wearing number 8 comes up big. If it wasn't for Xavier Mitchell grabbing the foot, he could have gone all the way to the end zone for a touchdown. Pickup of 20 for Forbes. Handoff up the middle. Going to pick up about 4 or 5 yards.
Jack Weaver on the carry. Eventually pulled down by several different Raider defenders.
Multiple white shirts were there after Weaver gained about 6 yards on that carry. Hand off again to Weaver. Up the middle. Stopped by a couple of linemen. Sander Frogner along with Trace Pickard, the freshman defensive tackle, who checks in at 6'2", 300 pounds. Maybe a gain of 1 for Weaver. 3rd and 3 coming up from about the 12.5, 13-yard line. We'll say that at about the 12 here. A little hard to see with some of those lines out there. We'll say about 3rd and 3 here coming up for the Seahawks of Atlantic Shores, who are going to a more deliberate, methodical approach to try to get this touchdown. Lance gets the snap. Pocket collapses, but he throws it over the middle, and it is going to be incomplete as 3 white jerseys were there trying to intercept it in the back of the end zone, as that was a dangerous pass. And it looked like Jace Rhodes almost came down with it. So a field goal try coming up for Atlantic Shores' Griffin Weaver, the sophomore, with a big kick here to make it a 2-possession game. 29-yard field goal try. On the way, and no good. So 2 trips in the red zone result in no points for Atlantic Shores here with 5:34 to go in the half. And Northcross staying right there. Hey, big thanks to Aaron Jones out there on our live chat as he's given us some names. Ziel Hart wears number 1 for Northcross. Saya Hines wears number 12, and Antonio Mack number 9. So we appreciate that from Aaron Jones out there for providing that info to us. We were looking for those names. One of the great things about technology and streaming live, we can have people out there watching with us, interact with us, and give us the info we need if we don't have the info provided to us. So there you have it. Thank you out there. And there's going to be movement from Atlantic Shores up front. I think they're going to get called for offsides, but they're actually pointing that it was a false start, and I think they are moving them back. So it was Northcross that moved first. So it's going to be 5 yards back for the Raiders. Second penalty for 10 yards for them. The Seahawks have 3 flags by my count for 25 yards. So this makes it 1st and 15 from their own 15 with 5:32 until halftime. And this could be big here. And there's another whistle for the snap. So 2 false starts in a row. And that hurts Northcross a great deal. And there will be a timeout called by the Raiders. So we'll take one as well and hear from one of our sponsors and come back with the rest of this first half right here from the Plex in Virginia Beach. One Life Fitness One life, one inspired life. Start your new membership today at any one of the 8 convenient locations across Hampton Roads. And if you're listening and watching us from out there in Roanoke, perhaps anywhere across the Commonwealth, they're all over the state too. But go to onelifefitness.com, claim your free trial pass today. From the 10-yard line, Brock Miles gets the snap, looking left. He'll deliver the pass on point. Nice catch there is made by Zail Hart. And North Cross gets some positive yardage out of that. So from the 10-yard line to the 20, they get 10 back to make it 2nd and 10.
Gain of 10 on the play. 2nd and 10.
Dropping back is Miles over the middle. This one could be picked, and it is going to be intercepted if he hangs on, and the Seahawks get the first takeaway of the night. I think that was number 6 for Atlantic Shores, Joshua Sibley, and it was indeed Sibley, the sophomore, coming up with a takeaway.
Pass intercepted by number 6, Josh Sibley.
So Josh Sibley coming up big there. We've seen Isaac Cohen. We've seen Nathaniel McDonald make plays with sacks. And there's a huge takeaway for the Seahawks as they now have their 4th possession of the half, and it will come in North Cross territory at the 49 with 4:50 to go in our first half. Miles threw that one up into coverage, and the Seahawks were able to make them pay. Quick completion over to Sibley, who made the INT, and the tackle was made by
Michael Lance hits Josh Sibley on the left-hand side.
Saya Hines. Pickup of about 5 there for Sibley. They'll run it with Jack Weaver, who's doing his best Mike Allstott, running like a bulldozer to the left side.
Tackle 11, number 21, Daniel.
Chris Berman does that a lot better than I do. It's going to be a pickup of just enough for a first down to the 38-yard line. Fakes the handoff, looks to his right. There's 2 white shirts in the way, and it's going to be bobbled and picked off as North Cross comes up with the takeaway. And that is number 13, Jace Rhodes. So Jace Rhodes comes up with an INT. And it's the first giveaway of the night for Atlantic Shores.
And the Raiders will start this drive from 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line.
Starting to take on a look of the turnover fest of the second half that I witnessed last night over with Lansdowne and Bayside, where I think there was about 8 turnovers in the second half. They're not having one in the entire first half. Lansdowne got 5 of those to pay off in the second half for a 14-9 win over the Marlins. Now North Cross has the football with 3:56 to go in the first half from their own 20. Miles throws it in the flat. Johnson makes the catch. And then Johnson is dropped immediately at the 20-yard line by the offensive standout, making something happen on defense from a strong safety spot. 6'4" junior Chris Higgins.
Well defended by number 1, Chris Higgins.
So no gain on that completion.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
That's reading it well, like a strong safety is supposed to do. And North Cross, they want to pick up the pace to an extent here, but 2 receivers on each side, if they don't get positive yardage here, they also don't want to give it back to Atlantic Shores with them on their side of the 50. Quick little swing pass, and then Higgins shoves out of the bounds. Jace Rhodes, on that little dump-off reception. It's his 2nd grab of the night. As Jace picks up 7 on that to bring up 3rd and 3.
Gain of 7 on the play. 3rd and 3.
So both teams using the passing game for much of their yardage. 114 yards through the air for Atlantic Shores, 44 for North Cross. Big 3rd and 3 here as the Seahawks drop a defender back in coverage. Over the middle, it's going to be caught Rhodes once again, and he's right there at the first down marker. I think he's going to get the forward progress for the first down before he was drilled by Cody Batts. And it will be enough for a first down. Jace gets 4 yards on 3rd and 3 to the 31. And now we're seeing some of the pace pick up here for Brock Miles and company, as we are ticking near 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go in this first half. We see some substitutions with the receivers, as Antonio Mack will run on for, I believe, one of the Rhodes brothers, who comes to the sideline to catch his breath. Antonio Mack in motion. And now it's going to be a whistle, and it's either a delay a game or a false start. Took too much time, delay a game.
Raiders called for delay of game.
So 1st and 15 now from their own 26. Can't have those in that spot if you're North Cross, and I'm sure Coach Shannon Taylor and the staff shaking their head at that, because it kind of thwarts your momentum, but the clock keeps rolling as we're closing in on 2 minutes to go in the first half. Looking right, pumps. Miles now throws it, and that's way out of the reach of the receiver. And I believe that's going to be caught by Atlantic Shore's assistant coach, Mike Beatty.
2nd and 15.
He does not get credit for an INT, though, because he was out of bounds. And folks know, kin to Caden Beatty, who was the monster defensive lineman, now in the MAC, Kent State, from Atlantic Shores. In the flat area, and the Seahawks are well positioned defensively for that, as Moritz Mittendorfer gains about maybe a yard on that.
Forbes on the tackle.
Malcolm Forbes doing a good job defensively on that play.
Maybe a gain of 1 on the play. We'll call it 3rd and 14.
3rd and 14 from the 27 now, with 1:20 and counting to go in the second period. And now I think North Cross, not with much urgency here, as they'll hand it off, a little sweep. Razzle-dazzle, though, as they throw it down the field, and it's just going to be out of the reach of the intended target, as Tristan Lang came in, the 6'3 sophomore, plays a little backup quarterback, trying to get it to Zael Hart, who was cutting across.
Pass will have been defended by the Seahawks. That'll bring up 4th down for the Raiders.
So Tristan Lange unable to convert that there, and that stops the clock with 1:11. So when North Cross wanted the clock to keep rolling, it doesn't. When they needed to stop it, they couldn't. So wasn't the best clock management to the end of that second quarter for them. And now a bad snap on the punt, and they're just going to have to hop on it, as flying in there to try to pick it up was Joshua Sibley. And mishandling that snap means the Seahawks are in business in the red area with their 3rd red zone opportunity of the quarter. Can they finally push their lead to double digits?
Big play for the Seahawks defense. They'll be able to start this drive deep in Raider territory. 1st and 10 on the Raider 15. I'm
not going to give Miles a loss of 12. I'm going to make that a team loss of 12, because that was all in the center there on that snap. So 1:06 to go in the first half. Here's the 5th possession of the night. 4th in the red area, or I guess you could say 3rd in the red area, because Atlantic Shores scored out of the red zone when that 70-yard bomb Micah Lance to Chris Higgins earlier in our first half. From the 15 of North Cross now. Lance gets the hand. This is the snap. Hands it off to Weaver. Weaver not going to get much at all here, as he's met right away.
Tackle made by number 54, Sander Frogner.
Sander Frogner and Nate Bonds doing a good job defensively, keeping Weaver without gaining a yard there on his 17th attempt of the night. 58 yards on the ground. Here's 2nd and 10 now with 44 ticks to go in the second period. Lance looks left, completes the pass. Making a man miss is Corey Williams. Going to scoot ahead to about the 10-yard line, but the clock will continue to run as he is tackled inbounds by Tristan Lang. So Williams is going to get, actually, I think, a little more than 5. They're probably going to give him 6 to about the 9. So it'll force a timeout now for Atlantic Shores with 26 seconds to go in the half. And let's hear from Gatorade. Not Haterade, but Gatorade. Quench your thirst.
Every year, Thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels.
I used to go missing all the time. I let everyone down. I even let Shannon Sharp down.
Yeah, you let me down.
They've been told how you feel yourself doesn't matter. That electrolytes are all the same.
Then just like that, they're gone. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade. Could be the difference between dominating and disappearing.
Gatorade, rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
Rehydrate, replenish, and refuel, as you heard from Dame, Damian Lillard of the NBA's Portland Trailblazers for now, unless he gets traded to the Miami Heat or somewhere else. Gatorade, helping all the athletes out here, whether they're playing football, soccer, lacrosse, field hockey next door at the training center. Stay hydrated with Gatorade. One of the many sponsors helping make this broadcast possible tonight. 3rd and 4 now from the 9-yard line. 26 seconds to go. Atlantic Shores up 7-0 on North Cross. Lance gets the snap, hands it off to Jack Weaver. He's going to be near the first down marker. Good job by multiple defenders, Tristan Lang and I believe Nathan Hayes, making that stop. It's going to be a little short of the first down, though, it looks like.
And 1 on the play. Timeout Seahawks.
Thought he got to the 5, but those soccer lines threw me off there. He actually got maybe 2 yards on that to about the, probably 1 at about the 8-yard line, rather. So another timeout here with 16 ticks to go, and our game is brought to you tonight by Freddy's. That's right, when you download the app, you get a free Steakburger. I think our entire crew is going to have to do that, from Marissa to Jack and Jimmy and myself. Download the app, get yourself a free Steakburger, and you stop in at Freddy's. Frozen Custard and Steakburgers. They're located all across Hampton Roads in the cities of Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Williamsburg, and Hampton. So Weaver gets 1. 4th and 3 now from the 8 with 16 seconds to go. Wayne Lance is not bringing the field goal unit out because they missed a 29-yarder earlier in the period. And he wants to get 6 out of this, and maybe 7, because you get the extra point, or you go for 2, get 8 out of it. First thing first, though, is getting the 6 out of it, and Lance throws over the middle. It's going to be caught and then fumbled, and they're going to say incomplete. They say he didn't maintain possession, so it's not going to be a touchdown, as Cody Batts tried to haul it in off the fingertips. That could have been you can't really fumble it forward for a touchdown, but if he fumbles it in a certain spot and a teammate scoops it up into the end zone, it could be a score, or it could have been fumbled and recovered by North Cross for a touchback. So 3 trips in the red zone, no points in the second quarter for Atlantic Shores, and North Cross has to feel very fortunate to only be trailing 7-0 with 11 seconds to go in our first half. They're going to take a knee to run the clock out here and head to intermission. And they will do just that, as it's going to be quarterback Brock Miles taking that knee. And we head to halftime here from the Sportsplex in Virginia Beach. The rematch from the last 2 VISAA Division II state championship games, won by the Seahawks in 2021 of Atlantic Shores, won by the Raiders of North Cross in 2022. It's reached the half with Atlantic Shores up 7-0, and we'll take a timeout here from a bunch of our sponsors and come back in a little bit for the third quarter action right here from Virginia Beach.
I wish I was out there. Let's unretire. Why not?
Randy Moss.
Dan Marino?
Still got it.
22. 22. Number 13.
Let's see. Hey. I need that senior discount.
That's the case. Mr. Marino, you mind if I take a selfie? Thank you.
I'm good right here, bro.
Unretirement? Who'd be dumb enough to do that?
At CHKD, sports medicine is more than just treating injuries. It's a whole team approach to caring for young athletes. With experienced physicians, surgeons, trainers, and rehab specialists here when kids and teens need them most. Our experts help young athletes prevent injuries too, with advanced training and conditioning programs that keep them in the game safely. CHKD Sports Medicine, where kids are more than patients and we're more than a hospital.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels.
I used to go missing all the time. I let everyone down. I even let Shannon Sharp down.
Yeah, you let me down.
They've been told how you feel yourself doesn't matter. That electrolytes are all the same.
Then just like that, they're gone. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade. Could be the difference between dominating and disappearing.
Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
Okay, who here has reached peak fall?
Peak what?
Peak fall!
I am wearing plaid.
And I'm wearing a cardigan.
I guess I am eating snickerdoodle cookie dough.
And I am eating a pumpkin pie blizzard.
The new DQ Fall Blizzard menu has reached peak fall. Pumpkin pie, snickerdoodle cookie dough, and more. They are back!
I just love fall. Apparently we all do.
Oh, they did it! Peak fall achieved! DQ, happy tastes good.
Go. And we're back here, third quarter action from the Plex in Virginia Beach, and it's going to be kicked out of bounds, drawing that yellow hanky. Don't blow your nose with that thing. You don't know where it's been. The referee will just put it back in his pocket. It'll be
Griffin Weaver's kick goes out of bounds.
North Cross football
This drive with the ball spotted on their own 35
at their own 35 as we begin the third period. And I think if you're North Cross, you have to feel pretty good that you're only down 7. It could have been a lot worse with Atlantic Shores having 3 trips inside the red area in that second quarter alone. 1 turnover for each team. 1 score that we missed. They're actually going to kick it off again. Actually, 2 scores that we missed. Smithfield leading Jamestown 23-7. Thanks to our man Pat Doolin on SHS Packers Win, the AD over there, for tweeting us a nice picture of the great crowd over there and the score. So Smithfield 23, Jamestown 7 at the half, and Hopewell leading Churchland 21-0 late in the first half after Camden Hunt had a touchdown run to extend that Blue Devils lead. Hopewell beating Lake Titter last week. Here's the kickoff as North Cross will get it at about their own 18-yard line. Up the middle they'll run. Tackle is going to be made by Atlantic Shores Levi Belford, number 27, stopping Jarrell Rhodes after he returns it to the 38-yard line, where the Raiders will begin and set up shop with 11:53 to go in our third period. Now it looks like they may be marking it back a yard. Tell you what, this is where the referees drive me. Now they move it upwards. Okay. If you're doing stats like I am, it will drive you insane. Drive you insane. Big thanks to Jack Lowe tonight, our producer engineer. Marissa on camera. Nick, Chuck, and the entire team. All right, to the left, Miles throws it. Completes the pass. It's going to be caught by Jace Rhodes. Tackled quickly by the combo of Jack Weaver and Malcolm Forbes.
Met immediately by number 3, Jack Weaver. Gain of 4 on the play. 2nd and 6.
So Rhodes gets 4 on that reception.
Handoff. And North Cross is going to get some great progress towards the end of that run as he was bringing the tacklers with them on that handoff. Cam Johnson running with some strength there. Had just 9 yards on 3 attempts in the first half, but he gets 7 yards as they're almost at midfield here. A little more tempo for North Cross to begin this third period. 3 receivers to the right. There's that matchup we want to watch with McDonald against Schmoranzer on the right side of your screen. Pass is deflected in the air and almost picked, nearly caught at the diving effort at the end for North Cross. As that looked like that was Antonio Mack trying to get to it.
Just off the fingertips, well defended by number 8, Malcolm Forbes. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
So 2nd and 10 now for the Raiders. High snap, handoff to Johnson. Wiggles his way through into Atlantic Shores territory down at about the 44-yard line. Cody Batts with the stop. Cam gets 7, so 3rd and 3 coming up from the 44 of Atlantic Shores as coming off the field is one of the linemen. I believe that is Isaac Cohen, who has been instrumental here tonight. Had that half a sack on a big play earlier. 3 receivers to the right again for Miles. Hands it off to Johnson. He has to run away from some trouble, and he's not going to do so effectively as 2 black shirts for Atlantic Shores with Malcolm Forbes, number 8, and number 55, Nathaniel McDonald, get to him, dropping him for a loss of yardage here. And it's going to be a 5-yard loss, bringing up 4th and 8.
Nice stop from the Seahawks defense, tackle led by number 8, Malcolm Forbes. Loss of about 5 on the play.
So North Cross is going to punt this away after they had a good drive working to open this third quarter. Low snap. And they will run into the punter, and that's going to be an automatic first down on the penalty there. And Miles gets off the turf, and that is a tough break if you're Atlantic Shores. I saw this happen last night in the Bayside Lansdowne game as well. There's running into and there's roughing the kicker. It's actually going to be roughing the kicker, I think, is that call, not running into. And sometimes they'll pick those up. I believe the one last night, if memory serves me right, they actually picked it up after huddling, which I had not seen that done in a long while. So this penalty giving North Cross a fresh set of downs. A 15-yard variety, taking it from the 49 to the 34. Big change there and a turn of events here. So North Cross can get back to working the run game to try to set up a big play-action pass, and not much working on that handoff to Rhodes, as it looked like Terrell was stopped by a couple of Seahawks, including Chris Higgins, for a minimal gain of about a yard. Actually lost a yard.
Loss of 1 on the play. 2nd and 11.
So 2nd and 11 now from the 35. Actually, where the nose of the football is, it looks like it's just outside the 35. We'll see if Atlantic Shores will bring pressure and a blitz. They complete it over the middle. The catch is made by Jace Rhodes, tackled by Griffin Weaver, it looked like.
Pass complete to number 13, Jace Rhodes. Patrick Linton on the tackle.
Excuse me, Patrick Linton on the stop. Up to about the 32-yard line. Gain of about 3. Big 3rd and 8 coming up. And we're going to get timeout from North Cross going to be their first of the half with 7:44 to go. We'll stop and hear from one of our sponsors here at the Plex and come back with this key 3rd and 8 play. Here we go, 3rd and 8 out of the timeout for North Cross. Trailing Atlantic Shores 7-0 here tonight on a beautiful Friday night for football in September at the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. Brock Miles gets the snap, throws it to the right. Just out of the reach of his intended target down the right sideline as he tried to loft that one up for Moritz Mittendorfer. Incomplete. 4th down and decision time now for Coach Shannon Taylor.
Just off the mark, out of bounds. That'll bring up 4th down for the Raiders.
3rd and 4th down conversions going to be so pivotal down the stretch here tonight. Offense will stay on the field here. Really in no man's land. Punt doesn't help you much. 2 receivers to each side. Miles throws it. It's high, and he brings it in, but he's short of the sticks. As that was a good throw on point to Antonio Mack, but not enough yardage to extend the drive as Atlantic Shores gets the defense off the field with 7:31 to go in our 3rd quarter.
And they'll take over on downs, 1st and 10. Ball splattered on their own 28-yard line.
Actually only got about 5 on that. Handoff up the middle. Pick up about 2 there for Jack Weaver and company.
Jack Weaver and Perry.
Multiple North Cross defenders in on the stop. Weaver, a hard-earned 59 yards on 18 carries.
He had 2 on the play. 2nd and 8.
On the 29, they will hand it off to the outside. We've got a flag on the play. And locked up on that. I think that was a handoff to number 3, Jack Weaver, and Nate Bonds, I want to say, is the one that got locked up with him.
Eventually pulled down by number 7, Nate Bonds. David 1 on the play. 2nd and 8. There's a flag on the play. Seahawks are called for holding. 10-yard penalty from the point of infraction. He plays 2nd down.
So back to the 19. Diving to try to make the catch was Higgins, but it's going to be broken up. Looked like that was Tristan Lang who got in on that.
For number 1, Chris Higgins, incomplete. Tristan Lang on the defensive play.
So after the penalty, backing up the Seahawks 10, and the incomplete, we're looking at about 3rd and maybe 18 for the Seahawks from their own 19. Trips to the right side for Micah Lance. Steps up in the pocket. Looking to take off, and he's going to be rung down high. Oh, I think a lot of fans wanted a horse collar there as he was dragged down by Nate Bonds in the neck area. Now, I don't think he totally yanked and grabbed with full force. Nonetheless, after that scramble, there's an injured North Cross player And it's Moritz Schmo, who is leaned upward now to be checked on. Looks like he's holding that right leg area. It might just be a cramp, though. And he's going to get up off the field here and walk that off. So, yeah, it looks like that's all it was. So from the 22-yard line after that pickup of 3, we're looking at a punt time here for the Seahawks of Atlantic Shores, clinging to the 7-0 lead. The game has taken on a look very similar to what we saw last year with these two in the VISAA Division II State Championship game. 36-26 win for the Seahawks back in 2021. But both defenses kept points off the board for 28 minutes on that Saturday last November, and other than that one pass play here, it's been a defensive masterpiece for these two teams, essentially. Punt is going to be fielded at about the 43-yard line, trying to spin away before a couple of tacklers meet him was North Cross's number 5, Moritz Mittendorfer. Nathaniel McDonald with an excellent punt. Got some great hang time on it and arc. Josh Sibley sending Mittendorfer backwards about a yard. So North Cross's second possession of this half will begin at about their own 42-yard line. Check that, they're going to move it up at their own 44-yard line. So I'm not sure he really lost a yard now as the referees play tricks with the ball on me again with 5:43 to go in this third quarter. I have so many lines marked out on my stat sheet just from them moving the ball around. Going down the field, it's going to be deflected, almost caught by Mittendorfer, but getting the mid up. I think that left hand was Atlantic Shores' Malcolm Forbes, wearing number 8, the junior strong safety, helping break up that pass. 10 of 18 tonight for 57 yards for Brock Miles. We mentioned coming in, had done a nice job. Only a couple of picks. Had his third of the year tonight. Also with his third of the year tonight was Michael Lance, who entered with 760 yards passing and 16 touchdowns. 2nd and 10 now for North Cross. Handoff. Up the middle with Johnson. Gets by one tackler. He's going to drag a couple with him here as he is stopped at about the 48-yard line of Atlantic Shores.
Cam Johnson on the carry. Gain of 8 on the play. 3rd and 2.
3rd and 2 after that pickup of 8 for Cam Johnson. 7 rushes for 26 yards for him so far tonight. He's got 17 of those 26 yards on 4 attempts here in the second half. Give it back to him. Why not? Can he spin away from somebody? He will effectively enough before he's eventually dragged down by Joshua Sibley. It happens after he gets enough yardage for the first down.
Josh Sibley. First down Raiders.
Pickup of 3, just enough for the first down for Cam Johnson. The rugged 5'11", 200-pound senior running back for the Raiders came in as their leading rusher with 216 yards and 2 touchdowns on 31 carries, 7 yards per pop. Another handoff, this time to Rhodes from the 45, and he is popped pretty hard there as Sherrell Rhodes gets about 4. Nathaniel McDonald popping him good there, got a good lick. That puts Jarrell Rhodes into the positive yardage category. He was at -1 at intermission. 2nd and 6 from the 41 as we tick under 4 minutes to go in this third quarter where things are starting to swing back North Cross's way. The chance to potentially tie or even take the lead if they were to go for 2 if they score a touchdown. Miles going down the field. Defensive back is beaten, and it's going to be a touchdown as they lob it up down the field for Ziel Hart, number 1. Touchdown, North Cross.
Miles finds his receiver. Touchdown Raiders.
So a big touchdown pass of 41 yards to Ziel Hart. And the extra point is good. So with 3:44 to go in the third quarter, North Cross has knotted up Atlantic Shores at 7 apiece. We'll take a quick timeout and hear from Zoop Eatery and come back with the rest of this third quarter. So we are back here in the third quarter, and thanks again to the fans out there for providing us with that name for number one who was not in our roster book. You knew someone would have to score that would not be in the roster book, but we got it for you. Jaziel Hart. I think it's short for ZL Hart, as we call him, but he gets the 41-yard touchdown from Brock Miles. The extra point is good, and from the 15-yard line, the Seahawks now have it, making a man miss on the return and trying to wiggle his way forward for even more yardage. Atlantic Shores' kickoff return at about the 22-yard line for number 8, Malcolm Forbes. So you could sense it. They were just knocking on the door for a big play, and they got it to bust through. Just moments ago, big play for the North Cross Raiders. For now, Atlantic Shores trying to counter from their own 22. And that run's not going to get much at all. Jack Weaver, all of about 2 yards. A host of Raiders able to stop him.
Second and 9.
Back to throw, Lance. Looks for his outlet. Oh, what a catch by Chris Higgins, and then he is lit up by Jaziel Hart.
Chris Higgins hauls in the sweet pass off the right-hand side. Jaziel Hart on the tackle. No gain on the play.
No gain, and Hart has come up and made some big licks tonight. Class of 2026 standout to watch out for, Jaziel Hart. Third and about 9. Over the middle, almost intercepted as getting his hands on it was number 54, Sender Frogner, the junior middle linebacker, dropping in coverage, incomplete, and a 3-and-out, and Atlantic Shores really needing some type of a lift here because North Cross has swung the tide in a big way after that big Hart-Miles connection just a few plays ago. It's worth noting as I do some digging on Jaziel Hart, one of the schools already recruiting him is the University of Virginia as a sophomore. So he's getting a lot of attention already. I understand he's got a 3.9 GPA, gets it done in the classroom to go with his athletic exploits. And it's going to be down at the 43-yard line at that 42-yard line for North Cross to go back to work here with 2:02 to go in our third period. Let's hear from our title sponsor real quickly in Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steakburgers. And during that break, the referee moved the ball up 1 yard from the 42 to the 43. So if you had that in your bingo card, you're a winner, ladies and gents. One of our sponsors here at the Plex is Shine Time Power Wash and Paint Professionals. Revitalize your property today. Their focus is to bring new life to your home, building, or outdoor space and ensure 100% customer satisfaction each and every time. Shine Time. Power wash. Up the middle, that run's going to get minimal yardage with Cam Johnson. Stacked up by that front line of Atlantic Shores, led by Cody Batts from the linebacker spot, along with McDonald and Isaac Cohen on the line. Give him 2 on that to bring up 2nd and 8 after Johnson's gain there. Miles taking a deep shot, and he's got Hart open again, who's able to slow his speed and catch up to the football. And then there's a flag at the end of the play after he had roasted the defender there. What a job by Jaziel Hart, showing off the athletic ability. Hart gets vertical quickly. There's a flag at the end of the play as they're going to mark it down at the 15. So it's going to be a gain of 40. And it's going to be half the distance to the goal.
Flag was a personal foul, face mask.
Personal foul, face mask at the end of the play. So think about this. Prior to the last 2 completions, Brock Miles had 57 yards passing. His last 2 passes have gotten him 81 yards, one of which was a touchdown. 1st and goal now from the 8. Miles looking for guess who? Hart back in the end zone. He hauls it in for a touchdown. Jaziel Hart has taken over this football game, ladies and gents, with 1:07 to go in the 3rd quarter. He is putting on a show in this game. Now, we did figure this out, too, during our break. He was initially listed on the roster that was supplied to us and the Max Preps roster as number 23. Tonight he's wearing number 1, so it's just a little jersey switch. He was on the roster, for those wondering. But Hart really becoming a problem up front. I don't know if you press him, double him, bracket him. You have to do something different because right now he is taking control. And North Cross, which trailed at the half by 7, they've doubled up the Seahawks, 14-7 with 1:07 to go in our 3rd quarter. We'll take a quick timeout and hear from One Life Fitness. And Atlantic Shores, which was really in control of this game, those 3 red zone opportunities in the 2nd quarter that they had and came up with no points, including a missed field goal, being stopped, a turnover. There's some missed opportunities coming back to haunt them here as they trail at 14-7, but they're not out of it just yet as they could rally against the defending VISAA Division II state champs. Fielding it from about the 12-yard line. Here are the Seahawks. I believe that's Joshua Sibley who is stopped. Check that. It's going to be number 2, Corey Williams, who stopped on the return at about the 22-yard line. So here is the 3rd possession of the period for Atlantic Shores with 58 seconds to go. Wayne Lance's team needing the offense to provide the pick-me-up because right now Jaziel Hart has completely taken over the game. He's doing his best. Calvin Megatron Johnson, Larry Fitzgerald, Jamar Chase, fill in your flavor of the month wide receiver if you watch pro football on Sundays. Looking like all those guys here the last 15, 20 minutes. I guess Tyreek Hill would be applicable too because he was here at the Flex in the summertime and he had a monster game for the Miami Dolphins a while back. There's a run up the gut for Jack Weaver, and that's going to make the Seahawks fans get a little excited because Weaver moves the sticks as he trucked the defender on his way to the 33-yard line. Believe it or not, that is Weaver's longest run from scrimmage tonight. It previously was an 8-yard pickup. He's had a couple of 7-yard runs as well, but up to 74 yards rushing on 21 attempts. Here's carry number 22 of the night. A couple of North Cross defenders ready to get to him and not let him move the sticks on this sequence as Nate Bonds was among those that got to him.
Jack Weaver off the right Tackle made by number 7, Nate Bonds. Gain of 5 on the play. 2nd and 5. Jack Weaver up the middle.
Weaver runs up the middle, and it's going to get him close to the first down marker.
Gain of 2 on the play.
Daniel Skoog was able to get the stop there for North Cross's defense, and we've reached the end of the third quarter. Big 3rd and short coming up for Atlantic Shores, which trails North Cross 14-7. Come on back for the fourth quarter after this break.
After more than 50 years of innovation, AstroTurf still leads the way. The inventor of artificial turf does it all, right here in the USA. We engineer, test, manufacture, and install the world's most innovative fibers and turf technologies, with over 30,000 tracks and fields worldwide. AstroTurf, powered by Sport Group.
Okay, who here has reached peak fall?
Peak what?
Peak fall!
I am wearing plaid.
And I'm wearing a cardigan.
I guess I am eating snickerdoodle cookie dough.
And I am eating a pumpkin pie blizzard.
The new DQ Fall Blizzard menu has reached peak fall. Pumpkin pie, snickerdoodle cookie dough, and more. They are back!
I just love fall.
Apparently we all do.
Oh, they did it! Peak fall achieved! DQ, happy tastes good.
So here we are, 3rd and 2 from the 41 for Atlantic Shores as we begin the fourth quarter. And it looks like someone jumped offside, but they didn't catch him on the end of the defensive line for North Cross. The Raiders getting 2 touchdown receptions from Jazzy Ellahart, a 41-yarder, and an 8-yarder from quarterback Brock Miles, who's now 13 of 21 for a $146 on the night. Certainly responding well from that pick earlier in the contest, and now trying to nudge closer to that first down marker. It's going to be tight for Jack Weaver, but I think he got it. Stop was made by a couple of different Raiders, but it's enough for Jack Weaver to move the sticks. He just got it. 24 rushes for 84 yards. Remember, one of the 1,000-yard rushers for Atlantic Shores from a season ago, Emmanuel Williams, now playing his high school football in the Bay Rivers District for the War Hill Lions, who lead Pocosin tonight. Oh, here's a razzle-dazzle. Trick play, but it's going to be picked. We have a flag, though, as they throw it to a receiver. That was number 7 for Atlantic Shores, Blaine Foley, who had it picked by number 12 for North Cross. That being Josiah Hines.
Interception on the play, but also a flag.
Hines, by the way, who's listed as 87 in your roster booklet as a freshman, but he's not wearing 87 tonight, he's wearing 12. So thanks to our fans out there watching it with us for that update. Let's see what the penalty is, because North Cross is hoping this is on Atlantic Shores. They can decline it and get the pick. It's going to be on the defense, but they're saying it's first down North Cross. So I guess it's a hold. I'm a little confused on what the signal was there. I think that's a hold on.
Seahawks were called for an
ineligible receiver during the play, and then a block in the back.
So they'll keep possession of the ball with the penalty assessed after the interception. And the Raiders will begin this drive 1st and 10 on their own 40.
So a block in the back. So that's going to end up being on North Cross. So an eligible receiver declined by North Cross. Meanwhile, the block in the back is going to assess on North Cross back to their own 40 here as they've got it. And here's a run to the right. Cam Johnson's running with a full head of steam down the sideline. 10-5 touchdown. Cam Johnson breaking at 60 yards for North Cross. He was gone. And it was one of those almost slow-moving touchdown runs. He didn't just bolt like lightning. He just picked up some steam once he got to about the 30 And with some strength, he was not going to be caught. What a run by Cam Johnson. Goes up the middle, bounces it right. Got a little bit of a block from the receiver to the right side. And then when he got to the 20, he just was able to jet away from the defensive back chasing him and Blaine Foley. 60 yards for Cam Johnson.
Flag on the play. The Raiders are called for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Unsportsmanlike conduct called on Northcross on the touchdown. So this is going to back them up for the extra point try, but I don't think they're that discouraged because they lead it by 13 right now. 91 yards on the ground for Johnson, 82 of which have come after halftime. And the defending VISAA Division II state champs looking like it here in this second half. And they're going to actually have it assessed on the kickoff, it does look like.
The penalty for the unsportsmanlike conduct will be assessed on the kickoff.
Extra point is good. So with 11 minutes to go, Northcross leading it by double digits, 21-7 after the 60-yard touchdown run by Cam Johnson. We'll take a quick timeout and come back with more right here from the Plex in Virginia Beach.
At CHKD, sports medicine is more than just treating injuries. It's a whole team approach to caring for young athletes. With experienced physicians, surgeons, trainers, and rehab specialists here when kids and teens need them most. Our experts help young athletes prevent injuries too, with advanced training and conditioning programs that keep them in the game safely. CHKD Sports Medicine, where kids are more than patients and we're more than a hospital.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
And Northcross getting ready to kick off from their own 25-yard line after Cam Johnson's 60-yard touchdown run. Again, he's got 82 of his 91 yards after halftime. It's going to be fielded by Atlantic Shores at their own 20-yard line. Chance to do something big with it here as they get it past the 45. And there's a fumble, but I think you're going to say his progress was stopped. Looked like that was number 8, Malcolm Forbes, on the return. And there's an injured Northcross player down. Looks like that is number 10, Xavier Mitchell. So while that injury is being checked on, we'll take a little bit of a timeout here as well and come back with the rest of this fourth quarter. Seahawks trail the Raiders 21-7 in the fourth. Back here from the Plex, handoff for Atlantic Shores. It's going to be stopped right away as Jack Weaver was hit quickly by Daniel Skoog. Sander Frogner helping him out on that play as well. No gain for Jack Weaver, who's run it 25 times tonight for 84 yards. And this is where they need that complimentary running back to go with Weaver. He's run it so much, they need the speed option, the shiftiness to help him out here for 2nd and 10 from the 47. Can the passing game deliver a major strike? Down the field they go. On a deep post, just out of the reach for the intended target, and Corey Williams, incomplete. Micah Lance, 8 of 18 tonight for 120 yards through the air.
It'll bring up third down, 3rd and 10.
Let's give you some more scores while we have a chance here before this 3rd and 10 play. Nansemond River leading Oscar Smith 28-7 in the 3rd quarter with 5 minutes to go in the period. Warwick on top of Minchfield 27-0 after a 72-yard touchdown run by Messiah Delome. End of 3, Tab 29, York nothing. Western Branch leading Hickory 28-0 in the 4th quarter. Granby on top of Norview 33-0 in the 3rd period. And Maury leading Dinwiddie in a close one, 25-21 early to middle 3rd quarter there. So a lot of high school football scores trickling in around Hampton Roads and beyond. 3rd and 10 now for Micah Lance and company, and there's going to be a whistle as he throws it out of bounds incomplete. I think it's going to be a false start, so it'll be 3rd and 15 coming up for the Seahawks after that 5-yard penalty.
Atlantic Shores called for a false start.
Kashawn Henderson just got a pick 6 for Hopewell, his 3rd score of the night as the Blue Devils lead the Churchland Truckers 35-0 with 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter in Portsmouth. Northern next score, Lancaster leading Middlesex 14-0 at the break. So 3rd and 15 now from the 42-yard line. Atlantic Shores with 3 receivers to the near side. Lance gets the shotgun snap. He's looking left. Down the field. He's got Higgins, who he hit for the big play earlier, but it's not going to be within his reach. Incomplete. Remember, that was our first touchdown of the night, a 70-yard strike from Micah Lance to Chris Higgins earlier in the contest, but as a team tonight now, 8 of 20 passing with 2 picks. One was on the trick play with Blaine Foley. A little razzle-dazzle opportunity. And there is a player being checked on with a little bit of a cramp for Atlantic Shores. So while that is happening, we'll take a quick timeout and hear from, let's see, who have we not heard from in a while. Let's try CHKD Sports Medicine.
At CHKD, sports medicine is more than just treating injuries. It's a whole team approach to caring for young athletes. With experienced physicians, surgeons, trainers, and rehab specialists here when kids and teens need them most. Our experts help young athletes prevent injuries too, with advanced training and conditioning programs that keep them in the game safely. CHKD Sports Medicine, where kids are more than patients and we're more than a hospital.
Mute me. High snap on that punt, and McDonald's just going to dive on it. And that was not good news for Atlantic Shores, as that was even more disastrous than the bad snap that Northcross had on a punt earlier in this contest. It's going to end up being a team loss of about 21 yards to impact the running statistics for us. And Northcross with 9:57 to go. They know a score here can pretty much salt this one away. 3 receivers to the near side, and Northcross is smelling blood in the water. They feel like this can be an opportunity to get the knockout punch. And Jazziel Hart is a guy you better cover. He's, I think, singled up top. Handoff to Cam Johnson. And he's going to be stuffed there. Good job by both Nathaniel McDonald to string him inside to number 4, Cody Batts, who made the stuff for a loss.
Batts assisted by number 55, Nathan McDonald. Loss of 1 on the play. 2nd and 11.
So 2nd and 11 coming up from the 22. After Johnson loses a yard, he wants to get to 100 yards rushing. He's only 10 away for the night. Going to take their time, let that play clock go down. Looking right now, back left is Brock Miles surveying the defense. And he had Cam Johnson open and just missed him by a hair.
Brock Miles pass just off the mark, 8 for Cam Johnson. 3rd and 11.
Miles has rebounded from the 3 of 7 start with a pick tonight. Really got in a groove to begin this second half. As he completed 6 of his first 9 passes. 3 big ones, 2 touchdowns to Jazziel Hart, a couple of 40-plus yard connections with him. 3 receivers to the near side, Hart up top. Is he looking for Hart here? No, he's going to roll right instead and go out of bounds, and there's a flag on the play. That is not what I'm sure Coach Shannon Taylor wants to see happen there.
Flag on the play.
Upcoming schedules for these teams as we wait for the word on what the flag was. North Cross will be playing host to Benedictine on September 22nd at 4 p.m. Benedictine came down to Tidewater and beat Western Branch pretty convincingly a couple weeks ago. They visit Blue Ridge to the Raiders on September 29th at 2 p.m. October 6th they host Fredericksburg Christian. October 20th, they host Fishburne Military Academy. October 27th at Hargrave Military Academy. And November the 3rd at Potomac School. It's going to be a hold on North Cross, backing them up to the 32-yard line. 10-yard penalty there. It's their 7th infraction accepted on the night for 55 yards. I'll give you the Atlantic Shores upcoming schedule coming up here in just a moment. It's a big 3rd down now. 3rd and 21 from the 32. The Seahawks blitz here or dropping coverage. Looks like they're going to rush 3, drop 8. Over to Hart down the left sideline, and he's going to bring it in, I think, for a no, they're going to say incomplete. They're going to say he stepped out of bounds. So hard to see where we are from the press box if that was inbounds or out of bounds, but I think the white line is closer up, so that it is incomplete. I think that is the right call. I'll tell you what, if it's thrown on the button, I think Hart makes that catch. He is not a guy that's easy to defend singled up. Seahawks visit Catholic next Friday at 7 p.m. They play host to Nansman Suffolk Academy right here at the Sportsplex on September 29th at 7 p.m. Also host Blue Ridge October 13th here at the Plex. Then travel to Fredericksburg Christian at 7 p.m. on Saturday, October 21st. They have 2 more games we'll tell you about after that, following this big 4th down play. And there's movement up front. It's going to be, I believe, on North Cross for false start. Seahawks' last 2 regular season games at Fishburne Military up in Waynesboro on Friday, October 27th at 4 p.m. and Friday, November 3rd, hosting Portsmouth Christian right here at the Sportsplex before the playoffs in the VISAA. It's actually going to be a penalty on Atlantic Shores, moving North Cross up 5 yards closer. 8th accepted penalty by my count for the Seahawks for 67 yards. So this now makes it a 4th and, we'll call it 16 from the 27. There's Brock Miles rolling right. Now looking back left, he's got an open man. It's going to be caught by number 6, Tristan Lang. But he's going to be well short of the first down as 2 Seahawks defenders in Corey Williams, number 2, and Malcolm Forbes, who's donning number 8, keep him short of the sticks. Pretty good gain, though, and it puts Atlantic Shores inside their own 20 at about the 15-yard line following the 12-yard completion. So he was actually just 4 yards short of the first down.
Eventually knocked out of bounds, and with that, the Seahawks will take over on downs. Officials will spot the ball around the 15-yard line of the Seahawks. 1st and 10.
So 1st and 10 from the 15 with 8:35 to play for Atlantic Shores. Can they stage a comeback to remember? Pass is complete.
Lance hits his receiver, Josh Sibley.
Josh Sibley.
tackle by JZL Hart and Jace Rhodes.
Jace Rhodes and Jaziel Hart keep Sibley from moving the sticks, but a pickup of about 7 yards. First catch of the second half for Sibley, who's got 5 grabs for 31 yards. Here's Lance going down the field, looking for his main target in Higgins, but it's going to be overthrown and intercepted by Xavier Mitchell. Xavier Mitchell's going to swerve it back towards the North Cross sideline and be tackled at the 44 of Atlantic Shores, and that's going to be the 3rd turnover of the night, all on interceptions for Atlantic Shores. Some missed opportunities in the first half in the red area, and North Cross with Hines, Jace Rhodes, and Xavier Mitchell coming up with big INTs to thwart the Seahawks offense in this one. And we've got a timeout here. It's going to be called with a little under 8 minutes to go. And let's hear from Dairy Queen. It's not fast food, it is fan food at DQ.
Okay, who here has reached peak fall?
Peak what?
Peak fall.
I am wearing plaid.
And I'm wearing a cardigan.
I guess I am eating snickerdoodle cookie dough.
And I am eating a pumpkin pie blizzard.
The new DQ Fall Blizzard menu has reached peak fall. Pumpkin pie, snickerdoodle cookie dough, and more. They are back.
I just love fall.
Apparently we all do.
Oh, they did it. Peak fall achieved. DQ, happy tastes good.
Every day is sweet when we're serving you Blizzard treats like M&M's, Reese's, cookie dough, and Oreo fudge brownie. Thanks for being our fans for all these years, and here's to many more. Dairy Queen. As we said, it's fan food, not fast food. Grill and chill. Check them out at Dairy Queen Lansdowne, right down the street from us at the Sportsplex. That was Patrick Linton, who was getting helped off the field here following the interception by Micah Lance, picked off by Xavier Mitchell. 7:39 to go. The Raiders up 21-7, have it at the 44 of Atlantic Shores, and able to dodge defenders and run up the field inside the 20, the 15, the 10. Touchdown for North Cross as they go the distance with the ground attack again. Jarrell Rhodes this time with a 44-yard touchdown scamper. So Cam Johnson had a big 60-yarder on the ground, a 41-yard scoring pass from Brock Miles to Jaziel Hart, and now Jarrell Rhodes, the 5'8", 190-pound senior, getting in on the scoring act for North Cross. And it comes immediately one play after Xavier Mitchell's INT, and a team that was down 7-0 at the half and could have been down 10, 13, 14, 21, 28-0 at the break, but the Seahawks 3 times in the red zone come up empty. Extra point is good for North Cross, and they lead at 28-7 with 7:27 to go. And we'll take a quick timeout and come back with the ensuing kickoff. Go pay our friends at Zoop Eatery a visit. They have all kinds of items for you. Choose from the wide variety of soups, fresh salads, made to order sandwiches. They're all served with a hunk of bread and dessert. Something for the whole crew when you stop in at Zoop Eatery. Kickoff for North Cross. That is Daniel Skoog, who we want to shout out for those extra points as well. Inside their own 5, fielded by Atlantic Shores with Corey Williams, and he's going to be eventually stood up and met at his own 14-yard line, probably about a pickup of about 12, 13 yards there. And North Cross really stepping up here in this second half. It has been a pretty dominant effort. And it was kind of a slowly developing dominant effort, but the real igniting force behind it was none other than Jaziel Hart, a 6-foot-tall, 162-pound wide receiver defensive back. He's made a couple of plays on defense tonight. First team All-State cornerback a season ago. Handoff for Atlantic Shores, and it's going to be Jack Weaver hit by a couple of different Raiders defenders, one of which looked to be a number 57 who we've not gotten a name for. Maybe someone will shout that out to us on a roster change.
Tackle led by number 65, Trace Pickard.
Trace Pickard, 65, was in on that stop too. Pickup of 2 for Weaver, who's closing in on 100 yards tonight. Here's Micah Lance completing the pass. Yes, it will be caught, but really sticky defense in coverage as the catch is made by Williams, and he's dropped immediately by Tristan Lang. Going to be 6 yards for Corey Williams. Just 2 catches tonight. And that's going to be a loss of a chunk there, as Weaver is brought down by a host of guys, including big 65, Trace Pickard. 6'2", 300-pound freshman. When he hits you, you feel it for days. Not just the night, for days. And Weaver drops a yard on that one. So 4th and 3 at about the 21. They'll punt it away with Nathaniel McDonald. It'll take an Atlantic Shores bounce, but they're going to scoop it up at about the 44 are the Raiders. And looking to make something happen down the left sideline was Moritz Mittendorfer. One of 7 seniors on this North Cross roster, along with Cam Johnson, Jarrell Rhodes, Xavier Mitchell, Eason Zhao, Danny Fung, and Moritz Schmorenzer, the Pittsburgh commit. They have 6 freshmen on the roster, 7 juniors, and 7 sophomores. So it's a really balanced lineup across the board of players. 5:29 to go. 1st and 10 from the 40 of Atlantic Shores. Here is the handoff to the right side. It's going to be Jarrell Rhodes. He's gone. Did not step out of bounds. He tight ropes it and goes the distance. Jarrell Rhodes breaking it again. However, there's a flag on the play, and I do think this is coming back on a hold, and it is. And I think that's why some of the defenders did not go as quickly towards him, because they knew it was coming back. And I thought he might step out because he just calmly tight-roped that. So Rhodes is going to get yardage to the 36. We'll give him 4 yards. And then it's a 10-yard penalty from there. So back at the Atlantic Shores 47 now. So technically, I think he got 3. The refs love doing this to me all night long. Handoff to Cam Johnson. He's going to the left. He's not going to get away from that group of defenders, as it was Cody Batts that hit him.
Cam Johnson on the carry, tackle led by Cody Batts.
And Patrick Linton, 72. I keep calling out 12 because that 7 looks like a 1 out there. That is 72 Patrick Linton, not the kicker, Griffin Weaver. Johnson's going to get nothing on that run. He's knocking on the door for 100 yards with 12 attempts for 90 tonight. North Cross with 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the far side. 4:12 to go. They'll move the tight end here in motion with Tristan Lang.
Cam Johnson on
Cam Johnson tripped up on that by Josh Sibley. Cam gets 2 on that carry. It's going to be about 3rd and 15.
2 on the play. 3rd and 16.
Into the 3rd quarter, Maury has extended its lead to 32-21 on Dinwiddie. And with 1 second, they call the timeout, does Coach Shannon Taylor. I think he's got just 1 remaining now, but his team up 28-7 with 3:19 to go in regulation, so we'll pause and hear from another one of our sponsors, and we'll pick John's Tax Service.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
Give them a call, 757-455-6763. John's Tax Service, a proud community supporter of local youth sports, providing tax preparation and retirement planning services. John's Tax Service and JPM Financial Services have been serving all of Hampton Roads for more than 20 years. They're the best thanks to you, John's Tax Service. Big night for Cam Johnson, Jazzy O'Hart, Brock Miles, and the North Cross Raiders, who have gotten interceptions from Jace Rhodes, Xavier Mitchell, and Josiah Hines, turning a 7-0 halftime deficit into a comfortable 28-7 lead on Atlantic Shores with just over 3 minutes to go in regulation play. Man in motion for the Raiders, that's Antonio Mack. Looking for Mack here. Mile throws it a little high and out of his reach, incomplete. 14 of 25 tonight for 158 yards and a couple of touchdown strikes for Brock Miles, the 6-foot-tall, 190-pound junior quarterback. Some in-progress scores and finals. Tab has beaten York tonight 43-0 in their Bay Rivers District rivalry showdown. Highland Springs on top of Norcom, 51-0 in the 3rd quarter this evening. Granby leading Norview 39-0 as they start the 4th quarter. West Point in front of John Marshall 22-6. Maury has extended its lead now to 39-21 on Dinwiddie with 10 minutes to play. War Hill up on Pocosin 57-7 late in the 3rd period. Deep Creek leading Deep Creek leading Grassville 21-7 with 3 minutes to go, and Western Branch a 35-0 shutout victor over Hickory. So Rashad Cook's Bruins get it done. Another timeout has been called, I believe, by Atlantic Shores, so we'll step aside and hear from another one of our sponsors. And you can always quench your thirst when you get you some Gatorade. Gatorade.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels.
I used to go missing all the time. I let everyone down. I even let Shannon Sharp down.
Yeah, you let me down.
They've been told how you feel yourself doesn't matter. That electrolytes are all the same.
Then just like that, they're gone. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade. Could be the difference between dominating and disappearing.
Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
So out of the timeout now with 3:11 to play, North Cross is going to punt this away. And it will be their quarterback, and Brock Miles, who's going to punt it. Back deep to receive it for Atlantic Shores is number 2, Corey Williams, as the junior won't get it anywhere near him because it's going to land about a good 8-9 yards in front of him, and it'll be downed inside the 15 with 3 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Couple more scores to pass along here in high school football tonight. Smithfield leading Jamestown 23-7 as they begin the 4th quarter. Warwick on top of Midgefield 35-0 late in the 3rd.
Flag on the play was against the Raiders for illegal participation.
illegal participation on North Cross, so they'll punt it away again as that backs them up a good 15 yards. 9th flag for 83 yards by my tally. Looks like Oscar Smith has gotten closer as they're trailing Nansemond over 35-19 with a 2-point conversion coming with 22 seconds left in the third quarter. So the Warriors trying to secure their first win over the Tigers since 2002 in that Southeastern District tussle out in Suffolk tonight. Punt's going to take a hop. And it's going to be down inside the 20 again here for North Cross. And all it did was burn some more ticks off the clock here with 2:29 left in regulation. They got a good one out there in Southwest Virginia between Grundy and Patrick Henry Glade Spring if you care about it. And I know some fans out in Roanoke pay attention. Grundy's on top of PH Glade Spring 27-25 with under 10 minutes to go. Another private school game for you. Our man Will Garlick from Virginia Preps is there. Halftime at last check, St. Michael's was leading Paul to 6-13-0. So there's some private school scores to pass along for some of you fans out there. 100th win in his career for Ricky Irby, head coach of Hopewell tonight against Churchland. We'll get to that final score in a little bit if we have a chance before we sign off. From their own 16, Micah Lance spins away from trouble from his left side to the right. He's going to throw it up for grabs, and do they come down with it? No, it's going to be the other team that comes down with it, and Jazziel Hart with the 4th interception of the night for North Cross. It's his first, as that was basically like a punt for Micah Lance. And certainly a night with some growing pains for him, and he'll get better from this. 10 of 23 for 128 yards, 3 INTs, and it's the 4th giveaway for the Atlantic Shores Seahawks. And that's going to allow North Cross to run the clock out. Kings Fork has beaten Great Bridge 48-7. It's a final in the Southeastern District. And Brock Miles will take a knee here, and they can just run the clock out. So what a night for Jazziel Hart. 4 catches for 99 yards and 2 TDs. He's my pick for player of the game if I had to select one for North Cross. And another knee here will let them basically bring it under a minute to go in the contest. And then one more knee after that will pretty much do it. So this is going to improve North Cross's record to 3-1 on the season. Atlantic Shores will also be at 3-1, and these two teams could certainly bump into each other again in the playoffs, as we've seen it happen the last 2 years for the championship. And they're going to try to be patient and take a knee because they know they actually can't take it all the way down. They wanted to get it to about 40 ticks. And then they can take another knee to pretty much ice this one. So here they'll have it for 4th down. They can just basically run around and put this one in the books. I want to thank our entire team from Chuck Thornton and Nick Senti at the helm of Hometown Sports Productions. Jack Lowe, our producer engineer tonight. Marissa on camera. I am Matt Hatfield. We appreciate you watching as North Cross rallies. It'll be a knee there with time running out. They're a winner 28-7 over Atlantic Shores here in this VISAA Division II matchup. A rematch of the last 2 state championship games. 28 unanswered for the Raiders. Coming in from Roanoke to get it done. That'll do it. We want to thank all of our sponsors and viewers out there as well. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel. Our game brought to you this evening by Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steakburgers as we sign off on this pleasant Friday night, September the 15th, 2023 from Virginia Beach, Virginia and the Sportsplex. Once again, our final score, North Cross 28, Atlantic Shores 7. Thank you for watching this edition of high school football action from the Plex. Thank you, my man. Appreciate you. Good work by you.